Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to our channel Football Fantasy, and we are back after almost a week. And guess who's back? Agrim Bhai is back. He's back from Paris, and
Hello.
we are here to talk about lots of things. The Barca game yesterday, the Champions League preview today, Haaland versus Dortmund, the
Yes.
first game for Graham Potter. So much to talk about, and I'm so glad Agrim Bhai that you are back today, and we
Yes.
can discuss in deep last night's game, what went wrong, and it's not all bad for Barcelona. That's what we're going to talk
Hmm.
about. But guys, do
Yes.
make sure to subscribe to our channel, bottom right hand corner. And if you like the video, smash a like on the video. So
Yes.
let's get straight into it, अग्रिम भाई. मुझे टाइम वेस्ट नहीं करना है. सिर्फ आपको पूछना है
Hmm.
कल के मैच की आपका रिएक्शन क्या है, आपके थॉट्स क्या है.
I lot of positives. I just wanted to I will just sum it up in a few sentences. I just want to say not a bad performance despite two defensive errors costed
Hmm.
by our. I think it was what's his name?
First one was
Alonso.
Alonso, I think. Yeah,
Yeah,
first one was
both were
Alonso.
Alonso. Both were
No,
Alonso, I
second
believe.
was I think. Yeah, second was the mid the
Yes. Yes.
no coordination between centre back. So yeah, you could say that. Yeah, but yeah, first
Yes.
one was definitely Alonso.
Yes.
Yeah, go on.
So despite that, I mean, Alonso had a very good performance, but fans are criticizing Xavi for starting Alonso, but Alonso has a very good sort of experience when it comes to playing as a fullback. So I think that was a big,
Mhm.
not a, I would say big gamble, but a very thoughtful um, uh, sus- um, decision by Xavi to put Alonso instead of Balde for this game
Yeah,
because you need
yeah. I
experience
mean,
in this.
correct, correct. You
Yeah.
are absolutely right. And I thought offensively he was fantastic. Going forward, he was really good. Yeah, I mean, defensive lapses these tend to happen, and I want you. I'm sorry to interrupt you. I want you to continue. Then I'll give you my
Mhm.
my thoughts as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, go on. Yeah,
Hmm.
speaking about the first goal and the second goal. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think overall was a very good game, good fight, and
Mhm.
I mean we missed chances, but you cannot make any excuses once you are missing chances. You have to be decisive
Mhm.
when the ball is at your opponent's half. You have to just
Mhm.
nail it. मेरे हिसाब से तो.
Yeah.
But overall, I am not disappointed, but I'm very optimistic. The return game will be very interesting, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree to that, and absolutely, what you're saying, the return leg will be fantastic, will be interesting, and
Yes.
we will have fun. My my thoughts completely. First off, Barca was fantastic. They were brilliant.
Hmm.
And I thought they should have been 2-0 up. Lewandonski should have buried those two goals. A
Hmm.
player of his caliber, his potential, his goal threat should be scoring those goals easily,
Yep.
especially the volley. Should have gone in, and I was disappointed that didn't turn in. I thought Barca will continue to do that in second half, but brilliant tactical, change by
Hmm.
Nagelsmann, for taking out Sabitzer and bringing in Goretzka, which you could easily see. Musiala was given a lot of freedom in the second half, and
Hmm.
he was literally troubling the Bayern defense, Barca defense. And to be
Hmm.
honest, the first goal you could say, yeah, maybe Alonso's marking at times was not good, but I was deeply saddened by the second goal. The way Leroy Sané was given the room to run into the Barca defense, and no one
Hmm.
came out,
Yeah.
challenge him, or
Yeah.
put him through a difficult situation. He easily went
Okay.
and finished that one. That was a bit disappointment for me. But yeah, as you rightly said, there were lots of positives for
Yep.
Barcelona. They can take home positivities and then expect
Yeah.
to do well in the other games, both the legs
Hmm.
against Inter Milan. It won't be all that easy. It's not easy nahi hoga to go to Italy
Hmm.
and win. But again,
Yep.
if you look at the team, if you look at the potential, the caliber that they have, I think it should be a cakewalk for them if they play to their full potential. So
Yep.
again,
I think we lost you for a moment.
yeah, yeah. So sorry about that, some internet issue. Yeah. So what I was saying is a long way to go. Still 4 matches left. They've already got 3 points. And I think
Hmm.
the reverse fixture at Camp Nou will be an interesting one. And I think
Yep.
Barca will, you know, come out victorious in that one. Let's hope, this
Yep.
group turns out to be a good one and we get to see all six brilliant matches. Now, moving on, to our tonight's game, the Manchester City versus the Dortmund. It's more less of City versus Dortmund and more of Haaland versus Dortmund. So,
Hmm.
how many goals do you think Haaland will score tonight against his former guy?
Well, with the attacking prowess of Man City, I think he should be scoring 4 goals every game, and with his caliber,
Yeah,
with his status. But I think it's at Dortmund Stadium, right?
correct.
So I think it should be around maybe two or 3-0 to City. Haaland scoring a brace.
So,
Yeah.
good, interesting, interesting.
Yes. What about you?
I think City will win, and not all that easy. It's not at City. By the way, it's not at Dortmund. It's at Etihad.
It's Etihad.
So
Huh?
it's a
Then
home game
you,
for
you
for City.
then can be a hat trick for this guy. What's his name? Haaland.
Erling Haaland.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, fantastic striker, and
Yeah.
love scoring in Champions League. We've seen in the past. His record speaks for it, and also, we saw in the last game in the Champions League how brilliant he was, and he keeps on
Yep.
getting better and better. This is like a perfect team that he's choosing for himself. To
Mm-hmm.
get into. He could
Yeah.
have easily gone to Barca. He could have easily gone to Real. I think Real and
Yep.
Bayern were the two contenders to sign him, but he went into a perfect team of Man City
Yeah.
where he's going to get loads of chances to score. So even
Mm.
if what I think is even if he ends up scoring half the chances this season that he gets, he will still end up being
Mm.
top scorer in the Premier League. And the
Could
Champions
be.
League as well.
Mm.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
how good he is. You'll at times you will see him score unbelievable goals and unbelievable angles, and
Mm-hmm.
although he will get more assists inside the box, he'll have to just tap in or put in an header, but he also scores these brilliant goals which he scores. So yeah, perfect number nine
Yeah.
for Man City, perfect team for
Mm.
Erling Haaland. The team which was
Yep.
made for each other. And Dortmund, a team that he's played in the past, he knows how the defenders are. He knows
And
the
inside
other
out.
team's
Yeah.
mentality. Yeah, it's not going to be much difficult for him to score in this game. But yeah,
Mm.
it will be an interesting game. To see how Dortmund tackle their former strikers'
Yeah.
goal scoring ability, and if it's
Mm-hmm.
they must be the one who should be the most they सोल्यूशन ढूंढना उनका सबसे इजी हो क्योंकि उनको मालूम है हारन कैसा खेलता है हाउ डज ही
Yep.
ऑपरेट कैसा
Yeah.
लीथल है वो बॉक्स में हाउ टू कीप हिम क्वाइट एंड not have
Yeah.
not make him have a good game. So Dortmund are the team that know how to work around. So it will be interesting, but I think again, as you rightly said, it will be loads of goals to Man City. I'm going for 4-0 and yeah, hat trick for Erling Haaland. This will be the
Mm.
right game. And yeah, let's see what happens. And yeah, I think that if you look at the other games, Agrim bhai, इतने कोई
Mm.
खास गेम्स नहीं यार. I think yeah,
Okay.
Real Madrid Leipzig है, but again वो Bernabeu में है. Leipzig fight देगी, but I think it will be easy win
Yeah, but
for
I don't see as.
Real Madrid. Correct. सही सही बोल रहे हैं, सही बोल रहे हैं. और चेल्सी
Yeah.
साल्जबर्ग भी हाँ ठीक है चेल्सी का नया मैनेजर है तो it's I think an advantage in fact with new manager
Yeah.
players ज़्यादा अच्छा
That's right.
खेलते हैं they tend to respond much more better in a better way than to a previous manager plus अपने स्टेडियम में
Mm.
खेल रहे हैं वो लोग स्टैम्फर्ड ब्रिज में तो मुझे लगता
Mm-hmm.
नहीं है यहाँ कुछ डिफिकल्ट होगा तो बट या आई थिंक should be fun.
Mm.
Prashant has joined in just now.
Hi guys, how are you?
Hi, Prashant. कैसा है?
बस सही सही. How are you doing, Agri?
I'm doing absolutely fine, yeah.
Perfect, perfect. Good to see you again. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
All right. So we are talking about Haaland versus Dortmund. Yes.
Yes.
So
Yeah, so
firstly,
we
apologies
spoke about
to the viewers
we
for
spoke about
joining
one
in
of the
late.
topics,
Sorry.
Prashant. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we spoke about one of the
Yeah.
topic which I want to hear your opinion on. But yeah, now
Mhm.
uh, I want first you to speak about Haaland versus Dortmund. So yeah, then we'll get back to that topic.
Okay, sure, absolutely. So yeah, of course, this was one of the one of the highlights of the Champions League draw, right? The moment the groups were drawn,
Correct.
people were like, "Yeah, Haaland is returning to Dortmund," and it happens very often in in Champions League in recent years. It has happened quite often that a big signing has been made, and all of a sudden, the first Champions League draw that happens, that player returns to the club, to his old club. It's almost suspicious at times with UEFA. This has happened with Haaland. It has happened with Lewandowski as well. So you never know. But then again, it's a spicy talk, nevertheless. And it will be interesting to see for me how if Dortmund can do anything better than the rest of the teams have done. Of course, Haaland will, and even for Haaland, it will be a new challenge because remember, Haaland joined Dortmund from Salzburg. So he never, I don't think he had actually faced Salzburg with any other team after that. He never returned there.
Correct.
Here
Hmm.
at Dortmund, what happened is he played well, he flourished at Dortmund, and right before leaving, he kind of had he left with a slightly bitter taste in the mouth, right? Because he
Yep.
kind of pushed for the move because of the statements he made and everything. So it will be interesting how the crowd will react to Haaland's return. There will be, it will not be the best of reception, that's for sure. So it will be interesting how Haaland handles it as well. So my prediction for the game would be a 3-0 to Man City.
Nice.
Mm.
Mhm.
Yeah, I predicted 4-0 to Man City with a hat trick to Erling Haaland. So let's see, what happens now. Prashant, I want to come back to our original topic. Last night's game. I'm sure you saw that game. Your before I ask you any questions about that game, your thoughts on last night's game between Bayern and Barca.
Oh, it was first and foremost. The good thing was that it was in no way as one-sided as the famous 8-2 win. That is always that always comes to mind. And of course, these two teams did also meet last season, so
Mm-hmm.
even they were not as one-sided. So
Hmm.
that's the good part of it. I think the game was great. It was good to watch. Barca actually, to be honest, I felt Barca were the better team overall, and I think a lot of people who saw the match would agree with me because they had the better chances. They got off to the better start. They were more proactive in a lot of things, and I remember one of the very strange things that I saw, something which you don't see often, is that someone like Alfonso Davies, he was not actually playing that forward. He was actually uh, he was playing way back in the Bayern defense. He doesn't normally do that. He plays like he takes those runs and he overlaps. We didn't
Yeah,
see him do
because of
that. So
Yeah, yeah.
I just wanted to like intervene because why he wasn't playing forward because most of the time he had to track back between Dembele and Rafinha every time because
Rafinha.
yeah, because any mistakes that would, I mean, they made mistakes. Barcelona couldn't capitalize on it, but mostly
Mm.
he had to be back on that side because
Yeah,
that's how the pressure will be built, and then Bayern can play a
mm.
long ball on that.
Yeah,
That is
but
the
then
strategy.
again, that does happen. But then even like okay, he had to cover them, but he did cover both of them very well, no doubt.
Yep.
But it's not at when you are playing at Allianz Arena, you don't expect Bayern to play so defensive.
Hmm.
So,
Yep.
it's a kind of a pragmatic approach from the Bayern coach, right? Like Julian
Hmm.
Nagelsmann, who is anyway, from what I understand, he's already under a little bit of a cosh because the
Yeah.
domestic results aren't coming,
Yep.
the way turning out to be the way they expect. So that is maybe due to that, but they were kind of pragmatic. They were not proactive, and that's not good
Hmm.
for any
Yep.
Bayern coach.
Yep.
But eventually, his tactic, you have to say, paid off because what happened in the second half? Bayern ended up scoring 2 goals and they ended up winning the game.
Yeah.
So, uh, yeah, a good day for Julian Nagelsmann. Kind of a disappointing day as a Barca supporter.
Hmm.
I would say because for Barca supporters, like the way they went at it, it was very impressive. It was
Yep.
like they could have scored easily 3 to 4 goals by
Yep.
halftime, but They didn't.
Absolutely.
So uh, yeah, that was a disappointing result.
Yeah, but as I stated earlier to Divya also, like I'm not disappointed about the result. What I'm disappointed is like, they couldn't capitalize on those very good chances that was laid in front of Lewandowski and Pedri. They,
Yeah,
I mean, Lewandowski, you do not expect him to miss these easy sitters, but kudos to Bayern's defense. They were absolutely phenomenal with Upamecano and this guy. What's his name? Mazraoui. Mazraoui.
mm,
Hmm.
yeah.
Correct.
So they were, and it was this actually correlates quite well with the other discussion that we were having about Haaland, right?
Hmm.
Because Lewandowski was playing for Bayern last year. They might be aware of how to handle Lewandowski, and
Hmm.
that kind of seemed to be the case because Lewandowski did have a few shots on. He did have a few attempts, but he didn't really end up scoring.
Hmm.
Of course, Haaland is a slightly different beast in this comparison because
Hmm.
he's just hard to handle for any defense. But Lewandowski, excuse me, Lewandowski was well trained by Bayern. That's how I would put it. Just a second.
Hmm.
Yeah, Prashant, no problem.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's back. Yeah. Yeah,
yeah. Sorry.
you're saying, yeah, go on, Prashant. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just saying that, in my opinion, I think they trained Lewandowski well, and maybe Dortmund
Hmm.
can take a leaf out of their book.
Hmm. Yeah, Prashant, absolutely correct. And I was speaking to Agremba earlier, and he spoke about the second goal, especially, which Barca could have avoided. That's what I was pointing out at. The first goal, may happen, dead ball situation from a corner.
Yep.
One tends to go, and you just
Yeah.
lose your focus for a minute, and it's always bound to happen. So, but then again, the second goal was what, and I was really disappointed in Barcelona, especially
Hmm.
allowing Leo Sané to make that kind of run. No one going in for a challenge or trying to make it difficult for him. That's what upset me. But overall, yeah, they played Barca. A lot of positives to take from that game, and I'm sure they will do better
Hmm.
in upcoming games, and it won't be a
Yep.
difficult run for them in this Champions League like how it happened last year where they got out in the group stage. That won't happen. I think they will easily beat Inter both home and away. So that's what my thoughts are on this. Now coming back to the most happening part, right today, I'm just going through Twitter and this is what I want to discuss with the two of you. Manchester United and Sir Jim Ratcliffe. So things are may progress. I'm not saying that it's very from a reliable source or anything, but
Yeah.
Jim Ratcliffe is looking to take over from United. He may soon prepare a bid, which Glazers may agree if the bid is right. So Prashant, once again, I'm coming back to you on this one. Again, I'll definitely speak to you about this.
Hmm.
But first, Prashant, I would
Yeah.
like to know how you know what do you think? This is just another paper talk, or you believe something is going on?
Well, with the, in recent years, the way the United PR machine has worked, right?
Hmm.
It's, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to find out that this is also a work of the PR team because simply because they just churn out stories. So,
Correct.
for PR purpose, maybe not United themselves, but one of these clickbaity sites, these clickbaity sources, maybe they have done this, but it might be a work of them, a work by them to
Hmm.
just get something out of this. But although this is not official news, right? If you just look at all these things in a chronological order, right? Uh,
Hmm.
so first we have the outburst and the protests against the Glazers. Secondly,
Correct.
we are told that the Glazers are concerned. The protests are affecting them. They are, and they were pushed into those panic buys, right? Like Casemiro, Casemiro and
Hmm.
Anthony, namely, right? Third, the protests, even though the results became better, the protests have continued. The pressure on the Glazers has not gone up. The share prices initially tumbled, but ever since the news came out that the Glazers might consider, the first news was that they might consider selling United, and the United share price went up. That's a very important thing in this story. That's a very important point. Fourth point. Last week, if I'm not wrong, last week or maybe about 10 days ago, the news came out that the Glazers have set a price, an asking price for the club, which is at 3.75 billion pounds. Right? We have
Mm.
heard that, right? So
Yeah,
that is
3.7 billion.
more like an,
Yeah. Mhm.
sorry,
You said
yeah,
3.75
3.75
billion,
billion.
right? A billion pounds.
Right.
Yeah. Mm.
Yes. So
Mm.
that's the price they have set. Now this was confirmed by several sources, right? So that is something which we can now take. So if you take that chronology into consideration, and then you now, if you just add this point into it, this story into it, then it kind of makes sense that okay,
Mhm.
yes, so United
Correct.
are,
Mhm.
you know, they are the Blazers are willing to sell. They know that there is a potential buyer, at least in Jim Ratcliffe. There might be others as well, and then we have the information that okay, Ratcliffe is, these are the things that he is planning, and what I heard is that he wants to bring in Luis Campos to Old
Correct.
Trafford from PSG. Chelsea are
Mhm.
also said to be chasing his signatures, but
Mhm.
yeah, so that's the thing. So we can only speculate on this, but these are the two sides to this story. What do you think, Divya and Adrian?
Agree by you go on first. And I'll give my thoughts.
Mm. I don't know, man. I'm just like I just read couple of reports, and I don't know. I'm not so convinced by the takeover. As Prashant said, it's just a PR sort of a thing just created by the media.
Mhm.
Well, yes, I agree with him, but I think valuing at somewhere around like 3.5. I mean, I understand it's Manchester United, but 3.5 billion is a lot of money to ask from an investor.
Mm.
It's not like
Yeah.
300 million. It's like 3.5 billion.
Yeah,
Yeah, but I think 2 billion was the actual value of United. If I'm not wrong,
Yeah,
Prashant, that's what the
yeah.
market value is. 2 to 3 billion
yeah,
is the value, and I think see if you look at if you consider a hypothetical situation, let's say Jim Ratcliffe ends up takeover, doing a takeover, spend
Hmm.
3.75 billion. It's not just
mm,
3.75 billion you'll have to fork, okay? You have to fork out approximately 5 billion because,
Hmm.
600 million debt. You have to, again, he has to clear that.
that's what I was
Then he
about
has
to
to
point out.
do,
Yeah,
yeah. Then he was about, then he has to improve the facilities. The training
Yep.
ground facilities are abysmal, pathetic. I don't want even to get into the stadium situation, the rooftop leakage and everything. That's again, a
mm,
very low standard.
Hmm.
What Old Trafford
Yep.
was earlier and what right now it is, it's pathetic. It's piss poor. And if you have to take a look at the complete investment, you know, making changes at the club, the structure of the club has to change. I'm definitely sure one of them, either John Muta or Richard, one of them will lose their job if
Hmm.
Radcliffe comes in. Don't be surprised both of them go. Look at Todd Bowley, what he's done. He's parted ways with everyone, every single one of
Hmm.
them. I think Tuchel was the only one left, and he's also gone.
Yeah,
So
but
most
that
of
was a
them
very
have
sad
gone.
sacking one. Yeah, but anyway. Sad sacking था वो तो.
And we had a very controversial and debatable video by Prashant. Prashant stirred a very good. Prashant said that literally turned on Chelsea fans by saying that Tuchel is overrated manager. So but yeah, it was a nice
overrated.
conversation. Yeah, so coming
Yeah,
back to coming back to United. So yeah, he will
Well,
end
Divya,
up
I just
changing
wanted to make
the
one point. I just wanted to make one point.
बोलो ना
Like I mean,
बोलो भाई.
just for the United fans and other like
Hmm.
supporters, I just wanted to say like if it goes back to a British owner, right?
Hmm.
So it will be as
Hmm.
per the British footballing standards because I don't see Americans having so much of affection towards
footballing knowledge.
the football game. So I think a guy from the local can if he can get a good deal from the Glazers and he buys,
Hmm.
then it's a very
And he's
good
a
thing
Manchester United fan.
because
Yeah,
exactly
he's a
exactly
mind
that's what I'm saying.
mind. He's
Hmm.
a born and bred Mancunian as well. So
Yep.
it will
So,
be different, yeah.
yep. Exactly.
So
Yeah,
and
exactly. And
just
then
to add a few points. Sorry to cut
yeah,
you
go
off,
on, Prashant.
Divya.
No
Uh,
problem, no problem.
yeah,
Go on.
so again, just to counter a few of the points that you pointed about his about
Hmm.
the price tag and even what Divya mentioned. See, I think uh, initially, like about when before this Newcastle takeover happened, there were rumors
Hmm.
that the Saudi prince MBS was going to take over United, and at that point, the price was quoted at 5 billion.
Hmm.
It was 5 billion
Mhm,
pounds. That is what I recollect.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
uh,
mhm.
3.75 billion is quite a it's
Right now.
a drastic amount,
I
a drastic
and I don't think
decrease.
it's true
But
that amount. Prashant,
which one?
my thought, my
5 billion.
3.75 billion. That's not the right amount. I think.
Yeah.
I
I don't see
mean,
it as the right
they will
amount.
not sell. They will not sell for 3.7. That's what I feel. I
Yeah.
may be wrong, but my opinion is
You,
they will never
hmm.
sell for such a low amount, low money.
Even though
So
United has a big brand, that doesn't mean like you will
Mm,
charge anything you feel like, right?
yeah, exactly. So 5 billion is too much. I think 3.75 billion is a little bit accurate considering the urgency that the Glazers have. So
mm,
let's put everything into perspective. Uh, so as
mm,
Divya just mentioned a while ago, and as Gary Neville has also mentioned, just like Divya has, that the stadium, right, it needs improvement.
Hmm.
The stadium will only improve with investment. There's no other way.
True.
So the Glazers now realize that they are no longer in a position that they can continue to take the money out of the club
Hmm.
because the revenue generating capacity of the club is decreasing. Once the stadium declines, once anything bad happens, right? Like a picture of a leak proof starts
Hmm.
circulating on the social media, the pressure on them will heat up again.
Hmm.
So if I am thinking from the Glazers' perspective, I think 3.75, which you mentioned, Divya, after considering that the debt would have to be cleared by the club, is kind of a decent amount if you take that into
mhm,
consideration. So the 5 billion pounds was the market value after considering everything, right? The valuation and the brand value and so on and so forth. Uh, so if you just take the debt into consideration and the recent failures, 3.75 seems to be the accurate amount to me, in my opinion. So yeah,
mhm.
uh, yeah. So that's what I believe about the takeover. So it might just be true that the takeover is happening, but being Jim Ratcliffe, I mean, being the PR machines that exist in the UK these days, yeah, you never know. So let's just not get our hopes up just yet. Keep waiting.
Yeah, you're spot on there, Prashant. And as much as I want to be owners to change and for Jim Ratcliffe, who was, the advantage of him being an owner is not he's not just Manchester United fan and or a Manchester born and bred. He also knows how to run a club. Like Prashant has
Hmm.
already pointed out in the previous video that he already owns a club in France. Owing I think the Nice club, right? And he's ran that fantastically well.
Right.
I think Luis Ocampos was the sporting director there before coming to PSG,
Hmm.
if I'm not wrong. Right, Prashant?
Uh, I believe he was at Lille. I think he was at Nice at some stage, but he was at Lille
Hmm.
before this. Like before joining PSG, he was at Lille. That's what I am made to understand.
Yeah, absolutely. And see, I don't want to talk about be too positive, and then the takeover will happen, and Luis Campos will be the full director. I think that's very far-fetched story. First of all, Luis Campos is contracted at PSG. I don't think so. PSG will let him leave
Yeah,
that easily. They want him, they
yeah,
will keep him. So that is very unlikely to happen, even if Sir Jim Ratcliffe takes over United. So
yeah.
again,
That's impossible for Chelsea
the
and United. Yeah,
yes, exactly. I'm reading news about Chelsea. wanting him. So I think it's highly unlikely. One candidate who can take over United, and that is Paul Mitchell. Heard a lot about him. Again, a British guy with a brilliant
Hmm.
record, background record in France again, and he's got eye for the right talent. You look at one of the videos a few months back. He was sitting with Ralph Ranić watching the United youth game, and he loves scouting young players and getting young talents into the club. So again, one of the very see the options of sporting directors and recruitment heads all will fall into a place once we get a competent owner. We don't have competent
Yes.
owners,
Hmm.
and they will not recruit people who know more about football because by doing that they will expose themselves. You look at John Murtaugh, people talk about Murtaugh madness and how brilliant he is, how this that, and before this window they were talking about how good he is. But he's not someone they've hired from outside. He was a
Yeah.
part of the problem. He was in a different position earlier when they recruited from Everton, and then 7 years down the line he gets promoted to sporting director. So they only hire people and keep people from within who can protect them and who will not expose them. Already their situation in the between the fan base is poor. They don't want someone coming outside and exposing them. Classic example, Ralph
Like
Rangnick.
Ryan did.
Yeah, exactly. He
Right.
literally exposed them, and some idiotic fans thought Rangnick didn't know about coaching. He didn't. He was completely clueless, and that's why he was putting it on the board and owners. I mean, are you kidding me? You look at what's happening since 2013, since Alex retired, and then look at the entire situation. Two world-class managers, Jose Mourinho, Louis Van Gaal, who've been brilliant at different clubs, who've been won multiple Champions Leagues and the titles. They came and couldn't succeed, and then Solskjaer, Manchester United, you know, ex-player knows what it to be a United player. He managed the club. He couldn't succeed. So again, the problem is not the managers, you could say to some extent that to the players, but yes, the big problem is the people at the top. Unless that changes, nothing is going to change. The owner changes, the structure changes of the football, the people sitting and recruiting players changes, hiring managers they change, everything changes, and from there it improves. So very important. The ownership is a big part of the problem. Like some fans say, yes, Ralph Ragnick was right, but then it was 90%, 80% his fault and 20% the board. So I don't agree to that. Now, coming back to a different Champions League topic, Prashant, Graham Potter's first game tonight. What do you think? How good is he going to be tonight, and what do you expect from Graham Potter in this as a Chelsea coach?
Well, firstly, it's just a first game, right? And it's I'm very happy to see Graham Potter finally making it into the Champions League. That is something I have to say
Mhm.
because we have all been such huge admirers of him, right? He's an English
Yep.
manager. He's come up from the lower leagues and he has such a beautiful brand of football, so on and so forth. And he has done magnificently at Brighton, no doubt about it.
Yep.
So, firstly, I'm very happy that he is now going to have his first Champions League game as a manager. But as far as
Mhm.
the Potter style of football is concerned, I don't think we will see much of it. It would be more or less, it would be so and so kind of a game in terms of the style, as far as the style is concerned. We might actually, in certain cases, it does happen that, there's a new manager bounce and Chelsea just go out flying, in the first few minutes.
Mhm.
That might happen, but overall, it's not going to be. I don't think it will be like much of a, it would not be like a complete uh, rock star of a beginning, right? So,
Hmm.
uh, yeah, it's because it's only his first game, but it would be worth watching how he does.
Yeah, I agree to you on that. And fantastic manager. What he has achieved at Brighton is just unbelievable. And I think the Chelsea job will be a completely different job. There'll be a lot of pressure on him. And yeah, yeah, yeah. Again, he will get his chance. chances he will get his players in the next window. All he has to do is survive this season, get into the Champions League top four. If he gets into the Champions League, he will be backed by Todd Bowley and the Chelsea owners for the next season. Now, this brings back, I'm not going to ask this question to Prashant. I'm going to ask this to a neutral fan, Agrim Bhai. Mm, who has more pressure and who is a better manager? Graham Potter or
Uh,
Erik Ten Hag?
who was what? Can you get me back to
Sorry.
the question again?
Yeah, apologies. I'll repeat my question.
Hmm. Hmm.
Who has more pressure on him? Graham Potter
Hmm.
or Erik Ten Hag? And who is the better manager from what you've seen till date?
I think in, mm, I think Graham Potter right now has got to be the most pressured manager because he has joined a very serious club and with a very clown of an owner. As to what I've seen in the last 2 weeks, how he has managed to sack Tuchel without any considering twice what he has done for the club the last 1.5 years. But anyway, I mean, Graham Potter, I mean, he has got his experience, but I don't know how he's able to build a team from right from the scratch. We all have to see. That's what I think. But whereas Ten Hag is concerned, Ten Hag at least has some trophies under his belt if you compare both of them.
Mhm.
But I think Ten Hag will be given more time because it's a, I mean, United is a bigger club than Chelsea when it comes to like branding as well as trophies.
We didn't
Exactly,
say
that's
that,
what I'm
Prashant.
saying.
We didn't say that. A neutral
Yeah,
fan
yeah,
is
we
saying,
didn't
Prashant.
speak.
Don't blame us.
Yeah,
Don't blame us,
exactly.
which is the biggest stuff.
Yeah. No,
No, I
but
mean,
he's right. He's right
even
in
though
pointing out
if
that
they
the
have
players
more
have
money, I
been given
mean,
time.
even if they have like the purchasing power of pulling players from different leagues and just having that attraction of London City, but that power that United has, I don't think anyone has, or that of getting good managers or possibly getting good players as well. But I
Mm.
think just to sum up everything, I think Graham Potter has got to start off well, or maybe I don't know if the season ends and if the results are not on top notch. I think he has to go back to Brighton again.
Okay. Uh, Go back to Brighton.
Prashant,
All right.
what do you, Prashant, your
I
answer on this?
I honestly hope that Graham Potter doesn't have to go back to a place like Brighton. Now,
Mm.
Todd Bowley did like his criticism is obviously valid. It is indeed like the kind of start he has made. It is indeed as Green pointed out. It's like it's a joke, right?
Yep.
Tuchel was let
Mm.
go, the way all these things happened. So,
Mm.
very similar things to what have happened at United in many ways, right?
Mm.
Americanization of the club. And he also spoke some very idiotic things yesterday, apparently,
Yeah.
in an interview he gave, right? He suggested that Premier League should have an All Stars game. Have you heard of it, Divya?
Yes.
Yeah,
North versus.
yeah. Yeah, North versus South. It's idiotic for the Premier League to have that. They might consider it because they are dumb enough to do that. They want the money, but
I mean,
in my
remodeling is
opinion,
fine. Yeah, remodeling is
yeah,
fine, but
Hmm.
having too many, what do you call those all-star sort of bullshit inside the Premier League, you're just
yeah,
making more of a baseball sort of a
yeah.
uh,
It's
game.
Americanization.
Yeah,
It's
I don't
Americanization
support
of the
it.
Premier League.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
support it.
exactly.
Yeah.
I'm sure the Glazers would support it if you were to ask them about it right now. That the Glazers, the FSG group who owns Liverpool, all of that, because they are all
Yep.
American. So this is the kind of bullshit that comes along with American owners.
Yeah.
Just they they are basically all different versions of Ted Lasso. You guys know who
Yep.
Ted Lasso is? Devya, you know
Heard
who Ted
about them.
Lasso is? Okay. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. All right. So they are all just Ted Lassos, right? Yeah. So they just wanna, they just wanna put their ideas onto it. They don't really care how the game has been. They don't care about what the history of the game has been. They just wanna make it like this, just optimize each and everything, and you know. uh, milk out every penny that's possible. So yeah, it's a very typical
Yes.
American uh, owner that Chelsea now have.
Yes.
I will give this much credit to Glazers that compared to Bioli, the Glazers have actually given time to manage it. Even though it has
Yep.
ultimately been for their own benefit, but still, they have been giving time to the managers. That is one good
Yeah.
thing. They're
That is
not
the
being
only
like,
difference.
yeah. The only
Mm.
reason they have given time is actually because they are not interested in winning, but so be it.
So Sky Sports happened
So,
to make a team of North and South, you know.
oh
So
god,
if you look at the stupidity,
yeah.
Ederson, Trent, Diaz, Van Dijk, Cancelo, Fernandes, De Bruyne, Rodri,
So
Salah,
basically, a
Ronaldo, and
City and
Haaland.
Liverpool joint squad.
Yeah, a couple of United players.
Ah, yeah.
And then for London, and from South, we have Ramsdale, James, Romero, Silva, Zinchenko. What a center! What a defense! Odegaard, Rice, Kante,
मैं तो
Saka,
रैम्सडेल
Kane.
देख के ही हंस रहा
I
हूँ
think
कि
North will eat
you
this
have
team up.
रैम्सडेल as a goalkeeper.
No, but Ramsdale is a good
Exactly.
goalkeeper.
हाँ
He's a
ठीक ही है
decent
मतलब
goalkeeper.
चलो अभी I mean I'd still pick this guy, what's his name, Pickford.
Ah,
Ah, Pickford. Mm.
Hmm.
Yeah, but
but
uh, not the South looks very weak, South team, you know, and they put Sterling and they didn't put Son there. यूनमिन सॉन
Yeah.
नहीं डाला लेकिन स्टर्लिंग डाल दिया ये
Hmm.
ऑफकोर्स ब्रिटिश प्लेयर को ही तो अपॉर्चुनिटी देंगे जाना
डेक्लन राइस
ah,
तो मतलब अलग लेवल पे है भाई.
ah,
डेक्लन राइस आई लाइक डेक्लन राइस वन ऑफ माय फेवरेट
ठीक है,
मिडफील्डर्स यू नो
ठीक है.
बोलते हैं लोग हो रहा है बट आई सीन हिम प्ले यू नो प्लेयर हु कैन प्ले a six, who can play as an eight, who can even slot in play a centre back, you know, and the way he carries the ball, I haven't seen a defensive midfielder carry the ball so well, you know. You'll see more of number eight player like Frankie de Jong or
Hmm.
players of that playing in those positions. But for a number six to be so good on the ball, it's very rare scenario. And I like about Declan Rice, yes, प्राइस ज्यादा है उसकी बट अभी पता है ब्रेक इंग्लिश टैक्स लगते हैं उसके तो
Yes.
अभी क्या ही बोल सकते हैं
GST. इंग्लिश GST लगता है उस पे.
So yeah, coming back to our yeah, so speaking about the ownership, United ownership, and then the Chelsea, the Brighton manager, ex-Brighton manager, Graham Potter, first game है. So again, big hopes will be, but I think the right game है उसके लिए at home against Salzburg. I don't think Salzburg will give him much of an issue problem, and
Yeah.
the team that Chelsea have, they should really scrape. तो उसके लिए अच्छा है क्योंकि इतना बड़ा ब्रेक मिला है उनका वीकेंड गेम भी कैंसिल हो गया है आई थिंक अभी उसके बाद इंटरनेशनल ब्रेक होगा so they'll come after that so a lot of time for Graham Potter to sort things and do really well so yeah so I think उसको बीच सीजन हायर किया बट उसको उसको टाइम बहुत है उसके पास क्विकली विल रन थ्रू अदर गेम्स रियल मैड्रिड और लाइप्जिग क्या लगता है तुम लोग को एनी चेप अप फॉर रियल मैड्रिड और यू होप मैड्रिड टू कंप्लीट
टीमो
3
वरना
पॉइंट्स
हैट्रिक आज.
अरे
uh,
और
yeah,
वो
I
भी तो है
think
ना कि.
Timo Werner will score
हम्म.
because
हम्म.
he has been in better form ever since he has gone back to Germany. Yeah,
Yeah.
continue. Abhi.
जर्मन स्टार्ट पार्ट है वो.
Uh, yeah, yeah, exactly. A lot of players have gone through this, right? Like even who was it? I remember a couple of Dortmund players, Shinji Kagawa and Nuri Sahin. These two players they lost touch in their new team. Nuri Sahin was at Real Madrid. Kagawa was at United. They both lost themselves, and when they went back, they were better. They were able to retain themselves. So hopefully,
हम्म.
Werner also is able to rediscover his touch. Uh, I don't think Leipzig will be able to beat Madrid. They are
वो
in a good
एनकुंकू, वो आई फॉरगॉट, एनकुंकू है ना, एनकुंकू विल बी अ ट्रबल
Nkunku.
फॉर.
हाँ
Nkunku.
एनकुंकू
इनकुम करेक्ट करेक्ट
विल बी अ ट्रबल फॉर रियल मैड्रिड डिफेंस.
अरे बहुत सही प्लेयर है उसका
हम्म.
Mm.
प्रेस का मजबूत करता है प्रेस को उसको प्रेसिंग
हम्म.
फैंटास्टिक है
वो भी तो है, उस दैट
आपको
गाय जो यूनाइटेड के पीछे पड़ा था बीच में, नाउ इज दैट लाइप्जिग कभी.
ये वो अपना क्या
मिडफील्डर
नाम था
कॉनराड
यार?
लाइमर
नहीं
नो
नहीं
नो
नहीं
नो
कॉन्ट्रैक्ट
नहीं,
लेमर।
साल्जबर्ग से ज्वाइन किया वो, साल्जबर्ग से ज्वाइन किया वो। क्या नाम
हम्म
था वो बंदे का, अब भूल
नहीं,
गया।
बट वो अभी भी साल्जबर्ग में, वो साल्जबर्ग में ही वेंट ऑन लोन बैक टू साल्जबर्ग। तो लाइप्जिग
हाँ हाँ है।
स्ट्राइकर ना, स्ट्राइकर
हाँ
ना।
हाँ
हम्म
हाँ,
जो
क्या
यूनाइटेड
नाम
के
था
साथ
उसका?
लोन
वो
पे था।
वो ज्वाइन किया लाइप्जिग, बट द
हाँ
डील
हाँ, आई
वाज दैट ही
अंडरस्टूड,
विल
ही वेंट बैक टू लोन,
गो बैक
ऑन
टू,
लोन।
हाँ, बेंजामिन सेस्को आई थिंक,
हाँ
हाँ
बेंजामिन
सेस्को,
सेस्को।
या बेंजामिन सेस्को।
हम्म बट जो भी है, बट उनका
स्लोवेनियन
लाइनअप तो अच्छा लग
स्ट्राइकर,
रहा
हाँ।
है,
वो अभी
लाइनअप इज
लाइप्जिग
गुड।
में है फिलहाल, एक साल। हम्म।
हम्म,
लाइजक का
सही है।
लाइनअप इज नॉट बैड।
हाँ, टीम अच्छी है उनकी, बट अगेन बर्नबाउ में जाके जो इन फॉर्म मैड्रिड, ठीक है बेंजेमा नहीं है, मैं थिंक उनकी टीम बहुत ही बढ़िया है, हेडन हज़ार्ड डिसेंट जॉब कर रहा है फॉल्स नाइन।
हम्म
ओवरऑल
बट
उनके
इज नॉट
प्लेयर
इवन
अच्छे हैं
स्टार्टिंग
बहुत।
एज अ इज नॉट इवन स्टार्टिंग लाइनअप में वैल्वर्डे, रोड्रिगो एंड विनीशियस है। फ्रंट
आजकल
थ्री।
लाइनअप आ गया, लाइनअप आ
फ्रंट थ्री
गया।
वो है।
कौन है,
वैल्वर्डे
रॉड्रिगो वालवर्डे ऑन?
बस वैल्वर्डे क्या कर रहा है, मतलब इज प्लेइंग आउट ऑफ पोजीशन अगेन।
वालवर्डे सही पोज सब पोजीशन में खेल, इफ यू लुक एट द
हम्म
फाइनल, वो राइट विंग में खेल रहा था फाइनल में अगेंस्ट लिवरपूल, जहां से
हम्म
उसने असिस्ट प्रोड्यूस किया। उसने
हम्म
क्रॉस डाला जो विनीशियस जूनियर ने गोल मारा। तो
दैट्स ट्रू।
हाँ, यस, बहुत ही बढ़िया प्लेयर है। सिक्स खेल सकता है, एट खेल
वर्सेटाइल
सकता है,
प्लेयर।
विंग में खेल सकता है। हाँ, वर्सटाइल प्लेयर है,
हम्म
अच्छा प्लेयर है। तो रॉड्रिगो नंबर 9 है, फॉल्स 9 है।
यप
चौमेनी, कमाविंगा, मॉड्रिच, क्रूज बेंच पे है। रूडिगर, आलेबा, फर्नांडिस, नाचो फर्नांडिस लेफ्ट बैक, ये बहुत ये वियर्ड दिख रहा है मुझे। कावाहाल राइट बैक, नाचो फर्नांडिस लेफ्ट, आई थिंक आलेबा जाएगा लेफ्ट बैक पे, एंड फर्नांडिस विल
फुल बैक
कम
खेलेगा।
सेंटर बैक, ऐसा मुझे लगता है।
हम्म
Alaba will play the full back. So Alaba plays there. But ये नाचो फर्नांडिस कैप्टन है आज का। यार देखते हैं।
मे
उसके
बी दे आर
अलावा
प्लेइंग अ
अगली गेम
वीकर
तो
टीम,
और कोई गेम, क्या बोल रहा है?
मे बी Ancelotti has put out a weaker team today, second team है,
हाँ, मे बी या एंचेलोटी हैज पुट
मे
अ
बी।
वीकर टीम इन द रूम। आई मीन वीकर टीम तो नहीं बोल सकते यार, विनीशियस जूनियर है, चौमेनी है, मॉड्रिच है, नो टॉप टॉप प्लेयर है उनके, और आराबा और ये तो है ही, उसको सेंटर बैक दोनों
नहीं
है
बट ये
उनके,
डिफेंस
तो
वगैरह में
रूडिगर।
तो बोल रहा है, जो हिसाब से, दैट
नहीं
हाउ
यार,
वी
सिर्फ
आर
यही
प्लेइंग
नहीं है,
टुडे।
फ्रीलैंड मेंडी नहीं है, फ्रीलैंड मेंडी नहीं है यार, तो
फुलान मेंडी।
आराबा और ये तो है ही
हम्म
ना।
अलावा नहीं है।
बाकी क्या है अभी,
यू सेड अलावा इज नॉट
वो
देयर ना,
रोटेट तो
नाचो
करता है।
कौन, नाचो मोंटियाल,
अलाबा है,
नाचो
अलाबा है
मोंटियाल
ना,
है।
नहीं नहीं, अलाबा है,
अच्छा
दोनों है। तो इट्स
अबे
लाइक
तो दानी
व्हाट
करवाल
आई
को भी
कैन
नहीं
सी ऑन
खिलाते हैं।
फुट मॉब। कावाल है,
व्हाट
राइट
अबाउट द
बैक है डैनी
प्लेयर?
कावाल, तो
करवाल
इज
खेलता है
प्लेइंग
क्या?
ना टुडे। हाँ, राइट बैक है कावाल। तो द बैक फोर इज Dani Caval is the right back, Rudiger and Alaba center back, and left back नाचो फर्नांडिस। तो ये अभी फिलहाल है कि फुट मॉप पे मैं देख रहा हूँ, तो अभी ये चेंज हो सकता है शायद। व्हाट आई फील इज फर्नांडिस विल बी द सेंटर बैक along with Rudiger and Alaba will go as the left back। तो ये मुझे ऐसा लगता है ये होगा। बट यार देखते हैं, ठीक है, बट अच्छी डिसेंट टीम है, जीत तो जाएगी यार
वो
इसकी।
फिर फुल बैक एलाबा को खिला देंगे जब इसको ले आएंगे, वाले वो को ले आएंगे, आई थिंक मेरे को लग रहा है बाद में। वाले इज एन
करेक्ट,
एक्सपीरियंस डिफेंडर ना।
करेक्ट, हाँ, करेक्ट करेक्ट। तो देखते हैं अभी क्या है, बट हाँ, अब यार उसके अलावा और तो कोई गेम मुझे लगती नहीं थी। यूवेंटस भी हरा देगी बेंफिका को, ये कुछ इशू नहीं होना चाहिए। और चेल्सी साल्जबर्ग बात कर लिया हमने, रेंजर्स नेपोली, नेपोली अच्छी
हाँ
बढ़िया टीम है। तो यार जाने
हाँ
से पहले प्रशांत, बात करना है क्या कल के गेम के बारे में, शेरिफ वर्सेस
हाँ,
यूनाइटेड इन मोल्डोवा?
yeah, I was, yeah, just before that, just before we come to that, I would just like to
हाँ,
look back at the results from yesterday. uh, you mentioned
एम
अरे
शेवियर
एमशे
भाई,
भाई आ गए,
एम शेवियर,
वो आ गया,
ड्रिप
रोनाल्डो
रोनाल्डो
बैक इन
बैक इन
मुंबई।
मुंबई।
No, Ronaldo is dripping in London. uh, so yeah, so my question was that you mentioned Benfica, right? So yeah, did you, has anyone noticed that Sporting Lisbon, a Portuguese team, actually beat Tottenham yesterday?
यप
Tottenham, and they
2
were
0 towards
fantastic,
them. They were
fantastic.
fantastic. They were
So,
superb.
ये तो कुछ
Like
नहीं
I
कल का।
looked at the highlights and
टॉटनहम गेम वाज नथिंग। Atletico Madrid got beaten by Bayer Leverkusen 2 goals to 0.
Barco 2 goals
yeah,
to nil.
Hmm. Simeone
that's still
football
expected
got
though.
rattled
Hmm.
absolutely.
Yeah, that is still expected because German sides are good. right? German sides can produce such upsets,
Yeah, they can,
but
but
a Portuguese team
winning against
winning
Simeone
first.
is the biggest challenge. You cannot beat Simeone this season.
Ah, come on. Atletico hasn't been
You're
the
not
same in
able to
recent
score
years.
two against him.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, you can say that.
They scored only one. I mean, they would normally only concede one. That is true, but they have been weakening of late. So
Yes.
it is a big upset. But I think like the highlight of the night was for me, like the biggest upset was the Tottenham result, like losing at Sporting Lisbon 2 goals to nil. And it's not like they were, you know, these were two late goals and they scored on counter attacks. No, Sporting Lisbon dominated the entire game. They
Yeah,
dominated
they
the
did. They
possession,
did.
they dominated the attacks, they dominated everything. Antonio Conte's team, they looked out of depth in Europe. And to be honest, I've always said that Conte does not have a good record in Europe, like in general.
Hmm.
He has not, I mean, he gets out
Yeah,
of
yeah,
the
yeah.
group stages, but he has never, I don't remember him having reached semis or finals too many times. Correct me if I'm wrong there. So maybe Europe is not a priority for him anyway, but again, this is just a repetition of his European record coming to the fore.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And then there's some disturbing news I'm reading here, and I can't, not sure whether disturbing would be the right word, and before I go do that, read that news, let me read the MH's comment. Even Bayern won.
Yeah.
आने दो उनको कैंप नो में अरे ये जो
Optimistic.
the,
I like that.
Optimism. सही है अंशु
so
भाई.
Prashant, what I'm reading here is Manchester United's 25-man squad list for 2000 to 22-23 Premier League campaign has been released. And that's what they put. But if you go on and look at the 25-man squad, Mason Greenwood is in that squad. I'm not liking the look of that. What are your thoughts on this?
Oh,
This is not just not right.
okay, and like where what is the source, if I may ask,
It's on the
Julian?
United website. It's come from the United
Okay,
Twitter account. So
oh God.
they not put Mason Greenwood's name as a header or something. They just put that United's 25-man squad list for the Premier League campaign has been released. 25-man squad list has been released, and you look at that squad list. So let me just check out. This is what people have tweeted. Let me see if I can. Hold on. Forward. Yeah, yeah. Mason Greenwood is there. Unfortunately, he is the so basically not in the first 11, but you have those. You have to put your under 21 players as well. So if you look at
Hmm.
the under 21 players,
Reserve.
under that the strikers, the forwards, there is Ahmad, Anthony Alanga, Garnacho, Hugill, Charlie McNeil, and Mason Greenwood as well. So surprised to see this. And I don't know. I don't
Disappointing.
have words to say because this is a very sensitive topic. I don't want to go into deep about this. So, but yeah,
No,
very
we don't
disappointing.
have to go too deep into this. It is just this is now basically, it's a moral and a social responsibility. This is something which is beyond football. Obviously, we will
Hmm.
not be discussing the details of about what has happened with Greenwood, but why is he in the squad is obviously a big question, right? He shouldn't be in the squad, and it's if this is indeed true. The Glazers, it's not good for the Glazers in some way,
Hmm.
and it's a huge PR disaster for United overall. Like, this shouldn't have happened. Despite everything they have been doing, this was one of the things they were doing, like socially and morally, they were handling things quite well. Like with the LGBTQ section, they were
Hmm.
doing it for the differently abled people in the stadium. They were providing them with facilities. So they were doing good things over there. And even with Greenwood, although they did not outrightly condemn what he has done, they did like at least take him off the side, take his name off everywhere. And now all of a sudden, if it has popped up here in the 25 name list, it's like United. are thinking, oh, let's see where this case goes. We don't really mind taking him back, and that's not a good vibe that it gives out to us, right? It's a very bad statement that you're making. You're like, we don't really care what he has done socially, what his record is. He might be a criminal, but if he can play for us, we will take him. That is the kind of statement that United are making, allegedly. I
Yeah.
mean, again, I have not seen the
Yeah.
list, but if the list is there, then this is the statement that would come out. This is the impression that it would give, and it's very wrong. It's unforgivable. Whoever this
Yeah.
PR,
Absolutely.
like someone is going to lose their job in the, some with the PR department or the website department
No,
or
I think
whatever they
Prashant,
have.
it's not just it's not the PR. They United have put a list of players, and in that list, I think for the campaign, and they have put in the name. They have not put in a header as in Greenwood included or any of that. They've just put in the
Hmm.
name. So now here's another news coming. Manchester United insists that Mason Greenwood remains suspended despite being included in the official squad. So yeah, he's suspended. So I'm not sure where this is going. So I don't think we should talk much about this. It's a controversial topic as well. So yeah, anything. क्या बोल रहा है ये एमशे? Ronaldo in London to bring Kohinoor back. Mason post cream pie would back. अरे रे रे भाई ये तो
क्या आदमी है
एकदम
भाई,
अरे
एक्सट्रीम जा रहा है
आए हैं उनसे भाई।
ये चैनल बंद
ठीक है।
कराएगा।
बैन मत कराओ हमें।
So guys, I think we spoke almost about
अच्छा हाँ
everything. The go on, Prashant.
yeah, sorry, you had asked me about our match tomorrow. United at
Yeah, yeah,
Sheriff Tiraspol,
yeah,
Transistria.
yeah, 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 yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
if I recollect correctly, they beat Real Madrid, didn't they? Sheriff.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, they did in the Champions League last year.
Yeah, so Casemiro and Varane will have some fond memories of that place. And let's see how it goes. It will be interesting. I wouldn't rule out United losing there.
I think United will win. The Real Sociedad setback. They have to win, and that should be on the back of the mind.
Yeah, they are also
Interesting to
well
see who
rested.
starts. Yeah, and interesting to who starts because Rashford's not there. So I think Ronaldo, Sancho, and Anthony should be the top front three. I think Elanga should be on the bench. For me, Ronaldo, Sancho, and Anthony start. Midfield, I think go back to the basics. Go to Fernandez, Eriksen, and McTominay over Casemiro. Yeah, I think clearly Casemiro needs some time to settle in. He will, and the back four we keep the same as we start in the Premier League, and I think that should do the job. We did by a bit of a change in that Sociedad game. We started Maguire and Lindelof, and the midfield as well with Casemiro, Eriksen, and who else was there? Eriksen, Casemiro, and who started in the
Fred,
midfield?
Fred,
Yeah, Fred. So Fred was abysmal,
ask
and Ericsson was looking good in the first half, but then he was taken off because he had played a lot of minutes in the Premier League. So again, Ericsson is the key. What I feel, he looks around, he scans the field, looks for passes, and that is the player that has to start every game for United. Is what I feel. But yeah, I think defensively also will be much better compared to the Sociedad game. So that's my thought on that.
mm, okay. Yeah, again, what about you?
Uh, like for tomorrow's game, I think it should be an easy game for United to win against Sheriff because
इजी तो
away
नहीं
pitch is
है
there.
बोल सकते
Says,
हैं बट हाँ स्पेंडिंग जो है जो प्लेयर्स है उसके हिसाब से यूनाइटेड आराम से जीतना चाहिए वो
Definitely,
बात बराबर है
definitely
MC
win
says,
this guy. I
हाँ,
mean,
MC
yeah.
Bhai is saying CR37 against Sheriff. Ha 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 ha. He will
शेरिफ हाँ
score
अभी
against
देख
Sheriff if he plays. Hmm.
अगर शेरिफ के सामने गोल नहीं मारेगा तो उसकी मजाक उड़ाएंगे बोलेंगे ये तो क्या है और गोल मारेगा तो भी बोलेगा हाँ यूरोपा लीग की थर्ड ग्रेड टीम के
Sheriff के
सामने गोल
सामने
मारा
मारता है।
तो ये यही कर सकता है रोनाल्डो यही कर सकता है मेसी बड़े बड़े टीम के सामने गोल मारते हैं
मेसी भी तो एलचे
ड्रिपिनाल्डो
के सामने
गेस्ट ऑफ
मारता है
ऑनर इन किंग सेरेमनी भाई लेकिन
हाँ
प्रिंस
ये
हैरी
श्रद्धांजलि देना रानी को।
प्रिंस
अग्रिम भाई
चार्ल्स 73 इयर्स का प्रिंस है यार सबसे ओल्डेस्ट प्रिंस
Hmm.
होगा ना
किंग
17
अभी
17
सीजन
किंग है,
अभी किंग बन गया
किंग।
अभी किंग बन गया हो.
हम्म
बट सबसे
हम्म
ओल्डेस्ट प्रिंस होगा 73 ईयर्स.
यस
Yeah, exactly.
ठीक है guys,
Let's
that's all I have from mine. Before I end the show, anything either one of you want to add up?
no, that's it from my end for today. It's been
Again,
amazing
bye.
again. It's been good to be back, and great to hear from the two of you and from him.
मैं तो आज का पीएसजी का गेम देखना मैं तो ये पीएसजी का गेम देखो पता नहीं कौन सा अजीब और गरीब गरीब टीम है भाई मकाबा हाइफा पता नहीं क्या नाम है भाई ये यूएफा
Israeli
किस
team है,
किस को एंट्री देता है यार
नहीं
मकाबी
Israeli
नहीं,
team
हाइफा
है. Israeli.
Israeli
कुछ
team है.
भी कुछ
Uh,
Okay.
नहीं, Maccabi Haifa are actually quite regulars of the Champions League.
अच्छा because
Uh,
I have never seen
हाँ,
them
हाँ.
coming on this tournament.
Because they are, and we don't actually, not many people know that Israel is even a part of UEFA, right? Like,
Yeah, they are. They are.
geographically speaking, they should
Geographically,
actually
yes.
be in Asia or Africa or somewhere.
Hmm.
Probably in
Hmm.
Asia, of course, but
Israel,
due to
Israel,
the
Israel का है Israel
yeah,
का टीम है
but due to
yeah
the political scenario there, they play in UEFA. I
yeah
believe that is what the situation is. So
yep
that's why they're here.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, it
What
sounds
is
like a Middle Eastern
hmm.
restaurant, but they are a football team.
what is longer, Prince Charles rule or super over in cricket? भाई ये तो बहुत एक्सट्रीम जा रहा
अरे
है. But वाह
भाई
अच्छा वाला good one good one good
आज
one.
एकदम जोश में है.
इतने दिन से अभिषेक ने आज लग रहा है पॉडकास्ट नहीं देखा ना तो सोचा कि आज तो भाई आज तो खुन्नस निकाल ही देता हूँ मैं
हाँ, हाँ.
और guys, जाने से पहले वीकेंड में कुछ करना है शो.
वीकेंड पे वी कैन वॉच द बार्सिलोना गेम इफ यू वांट
प्रीमियर लीग गेम ज्यादा नहीं है. वी कैन डू दी मड्रिड डार्बी, एटलेटिको और रियल
या
मैड्रिड
वी कैन
संडे
डू
रात को.
यार
हम्म.
हाँ
Yeah,
मड्रिड
we
आ
can
भी है
do
ना
that.
कितने बजे लेट मी जस्ट सी कितने बजे है आठ ये है ना कितना 1:30 बजे रहेगा कुछ नहीं 12:30 12:30
ओके.
12:30 बजे कुछ गेम
फिर सही है,
परफेक्ट. ठीक है.
चलेगा.
ठीक है आपके
और
अग्रिम भाई आपके चैनल पे करते हैं.
हाँ चलेगा मेरे चैनल पे करते हैं आई डोंट
ठीक
माइंड
है. बिकॉज आई वोंट बी इन मुंबई, बट यस आई विल डेफिनेटली ज्वाइन लाइव आउटसाइड मुंबई. ठीक है.
ओके
अच्छा.
ठीक है चलेगा
ओके गाइस,
Where will you be today?
थैंक यू. I will be somewhere, not decided, but yeah, you'll soon know in couple
Okay.
of days. Yeah, not
All
yet
right.
decided. So I was supposed to
Hopefully not close
go
to
and
where,
watch
where,
the.
where it is.
I was supposed to go and watch United Leeds Manchester United United game, but not only has the game been called off, I've not even got my visa. So again, another time I'll definitely go. But yeah, for now I don't want to waste my holidays. So I will be somewhere and I'll make a decision in a couple of days. But yeah, thank you very much, guys. It was a wonderful show. As always, talking about football makes us much more happier, and discussing amongst each other is what we like to do. So make sure to
Exactly.
subscribe to our channel, bottom right hand corner. Smash a like on the video if you like this video, and do let us know in the comment section your opinion on the Barca Bayern match, and then Potter versus Erik Ten Hag, and of course the big topic, the takeover of Manchester United from Sir Jim Ratcliffe. How do or do you think is it actually possible that will happen, or will Glazer stick around for some more time? Thank you guys once again,
Bye,
and we'll
guys.
see you on the weekend. Good night.
all right
Bye, guys.
all right good night